Hi guys, just a quick video on a little tool that I made. I use it to remove some of those pesky seam fillers that they use between sheets of bodywork beneath the car. I've made this little tool from a pneumatic hammer. The hammer itself was about 20 euros, and at one of the chisels I have added this little steel plate. It's very simple. It's just I haven't really taken any effort to clean it. It's just welded on, and this steel plate will allow you to chisel away on that body seam filler really easy. And I've used this little plate here from a wood saw blade. Just a second, we'll walk over to the wood saw blade. It's just a normal wood saw plate. I have cut out a piece of it, and the reason why I've used this plate is that it's really hard. It's tough, and when you cut it, you have to make sure that you don't heat it up too much, so you won't lose any of the strength. And when you cut it out and you weld it on, this isn't too bad if you heat it up here. It's just the tip. The tip has to be hard, and you can make it a little bit more sharp on the grinding stone. And this way you can have a relatively cheap tool, 20 euros. The chisel comes with it and an saw blade that was burned out. So I used the saw blade as the blade chisel. And next to removing the seam filler, I also use it to separate the sheet metal. When you have, let's say you drilled out the spot welds and you want to separate the two from each other, this is a wonderful tool. I mean, this makes it really easy to separate. So I'll take the tool to the location where I've been doing some work with it and give you a bit of a feedback of how it works. As you can see, this is a damaged car, damaged vehicle, and I'm repairing it at the moment. The chassis was bent a little bit, as well as the lower as the upper, and to repair it I have to remove this piece right here. So this piece goes all the way up to the strut tower, goes down up to the chassis, and all the way down. So as you can see, I have already drilled out some of the spot welds, and I use this tool here upside down to separate the spot welds, the two sheet metals, from each other. Before I do that, of course, I use the chisel to chisel away any of the body filler seams, which is really pesky to remove. I mean, this stuff is like bubble gum. I mean, that doesn't come off. So this is the best way and the easiest way of removing any of the body fill seamer and separate sheet metal from one from another. And I've tried all sorts of metal, but the hardest and the easiest to come by is to use an old saw blade. I hope this will help you in any way with one of your restoration projects or your damaged vehicles or whatever project you are working on and you need to do some body sheet metal. I also have a tool for this little pneumatic hammer here with a rounded off bolt on the back of it. And I also use it if I want to do some quick work of repairing dents. For instance, you have a lot of dents here. I'm not going to use the sheet metal, but I had to remove the dents in order to be able to pull down a little bit on the lower chassis beam. And you know, just to make quick work out of it, you can use the pneumatic hammer and work off dolly or on dolly or whatever is needed for your project, and hammer the dents out, giving you a little bit more room to pull down on a strut tower or a chassis beam. But same tool, just a different chisel on it with a big rounded off bolt on it. Works perfectly, works like a charm.